2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Okay, hello, internet world. This is Norma Joe. This is the next day after the night from last night where I did the first 3 episodes of this story. Anyways, okay. I think this is where I left off. Cut back to the fiberglass sewer. All of our heroes are finally climbing out the other side, coughing and hacking their lungs out. They're covered in cuts and scratches and little tiny streaks of blood all over their clothes. Joshie. Ugh, God, I feel so bad. Han. Ugh, you can say that again, kid. Dawson. Same. Luke. I've been worse. Leia. Look, you guys, Cessnas. Oh, wait, I'm not doing her voice. Well, whatever. They all look over into the nearest hangar and see a bunch of teeny-weeny spacecrafts that resemble crop-dusting planes. Leia. Aw, they're so cute. Joshie. Well, I guess it's like what we used to say at the bar. When you see something cute, go and get up in it. God. They all run over to the nearest Cessna and all climb into it. I don't know how you get 5 people into a single-seat aircraft, but just use your imagination. Leia takes the wheel and fires it up, and they speed out of the hangar as fast as hell like the cartoon Roadrunner. Everybody, yay! They all start coughing. Inside the Cessna, everyone's all crammed together, bitching and moaning, complaining and scratching themselves like crazy, like a bunch of flea-infested monkeys. Leia, stop that, you're gonna make it worse. Han, hey Leia, stuff a sock in it. Leia, ugh, rude. Look down there and help me find a jungle planet, that's what we need. I love it how, I can't remember what show I was watching, but they were like, isn't it funny how these planets are like one thing each? Like, you know how in South Park, that one episode, they were like, oh yeah, most planets are like a whole planet of deer, and a whole planet of this, and a whole planet of that, and Earth is all blended together. So, I don't know. They fly around and around in space for a while before finally spotting a green planet and zeroing down on it. They land the plane down in a lush jungle full of trees, bushes, and vines, and a bubbling pond nearby with one of those little waterfalls pouring in it from up on the mountainside. You know, the whole shebang. As soon as the hatch of the Cessna opens, everyone runs out and they all make a dash straight for the water. Oh, I saw my cat walking and I thought it was like the reflection of somebody outside. Okay, where was I? Everyone runs out and they all make a dash straight for the water. Like, you know when you're on a long drive and the need to piss is critical and then a rest stop finally comes up. It's like that. Nah, I know that shit. They all rip off their clothes as they run and throw them into the bushes like carefree hippies before diving into the water nude. That's based off, whatchamacallit, Planet of the Apes. So yeah. As soon as they all surface from under the water, they sigh in relief. Joshie. Wow, real jungle water. I can't say I ever experienced this on Earth. Leia, as she wrings out her long-ass hair. Her long-ass hair, not her long-ass hair. Yeah, isn't it great? Dawson, he squirms. Who's tickling me? Luke, oh, that's not a tickle. That's the skeleton ghost fish in the water. He swims up close and whispers in Dawson's ear. I need to have a tally for whispering in ears, too. Luke, tiny fish that nibble at your cuts and loosen out the glass. Dawson's face goes kind of white. I should have made him do the Joker laugh. That would have been funny as fuck. Dawson's face goes kind of white and he scrambles out of the water onto a rock, pawing at his body. Dawson, get him off me, get him off me. Luke giggles and swims in a circle around him. Luke, don't be scared of them. They're a force of nature. He looks at Dawson in mischief. Like me. He reaches up suddenly and grabs Dawson's hands, pulling him into the water with a splash. Everyone starts getting in a big-ass splashing play fight, and their spirits are all high and good. It's like the wonderful fantasy spring break that none of us actually ever get to have. Then suddenly, Joshie sees a movement in the jungle. She turns her head to look and sees some creature running off into the bushes with the last of their clothes. Joshie, hey! She turns to her comrades. Someone just took all our clothes. Dawson, ugh, he rolls his eyes. That's the shitty thing about being a character. You can't relax for 2 fucking seconds without something happening to move the story forwards. They all climb out of the lake and start wandering through the jungle. Soon they come to a wide open area of grass, with laundry lines hung up and white sheets drying on them. Oh yeah, you ever seen the Texas Chainsaw remake um, from the early 2000s? Luke sighs nostalgically. Reminds me of being home on the sand farm. Just wish, and the Lord shall provide. He runs up to the laundry line and pulls down a sheet, wrapping it around himself and tying it on like a toga. Dawson, looking around. Isn't it kind of weird that this one part is cleared out? I mean, that would mean there's someone running this place. Joshie. Yeah, and I want to find them. Little perverts taking our clothes. A pair of sheets come flying through the air and land on top of Dawson and Joshie, making them resemble Charlie Brown ghosts, except without all the holes. Leia, also wearing a toga. Come on, you guys, cover up. Have a little decency. At least make it look like you've been in the nut house for a while, not a new arrival that's still being searched. See what I mean about the edgy jokes? I don't know, man. And you know what's funny? I imagine her to be like with the belly out because she's hella pregnant, like that one chick from the new Mad Max that I haven't seen, but I've seen like clips. Story of my fucking life. Joshie, dude, that's brutal. They all tie on the sheets so they're all G-rated again and are just about to go exploring some more when all of a sudden they hear a hella loud-ass bugle horn blaring hauntingly through the jungle. They all huddle up together, looking all around. Han, the fuck was that? Luke, my 6th and 7th senses tell me that it's not good. They hear movement in the jungle and see some leaves moving all around. Nervously, they turn and run into the trees, only to run straight into a trap. A big, heavy-ass net falls down on them, pinning them all to the ground. They fight and complain and try to get free, but it's no use. They're trapped as trapped can be. Our heroes all groan in an irritated way. Then a small gas canister is thrown out of the trees and lands near them. Dawson, man, we're just taking it in the ass today, huh? Han, don't even say that, or it might come true. Knock on wood. He reaches out through the net and knocks on a nearby tree stump for luck. Then they all pass out abruptly from the gas. Everything goes to black. They wake up blearily in a dingy-ass, dirty-ass, third-world-looking laboratory with the same standards of cleanliness as a slaughterhouse. Han, Leia, and Joshie are all locked in a cage together. Luke is tied to the wall, wire taped to a 49cc motorcycle battery, and Dawson is tied down to a blood-stained metal table. Before they can even say, "Where the hell are we?" the door opens and a couple of very serious-looking Ewoks come in. Or should I say, Ewok in. Ha 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 ha. Ewok number 1, speaking in English to his comrade. I want these 2. You can choose from the other 3 for your experiments. The humans, they make that, face, but it's, really, let me show you. It's, stretched out like this. The mouth is really long, like a frog. Joshie out loud. You speak our language? The Ewoks look over at them. Ewok number 2. Silence, human. We have had enough torments from your kind. Though I admit, we had no idea at first that you were Imperial troops. Ewok number 1. Yes, it's not very often that we find Starfleet Command's ensigns running about nude, or trying to clothe themselves in rags. To his friend. They must be getting desperate. Leia. Imperial troops? Hey, we're not that. Ewok number 2, accusingly. Then why did you land on our planet, close to our base, in an Imperial Cessna? Han, we were running from them. We stole it to get away. Ewoks, a likely story for spies. Han, hey, listen up, you little ungrateful pieces of fur shit. Didn't we just save your little gerbil planet not that long ago? Didn't we fight for you? Ask around, we're heroes. Ewok number 1, crosses arms. Perhaps elsewhere, on a different Ewok planet, but not here. Here we know nothing of you. Also, I would warn you not to be verbally abusive, or you will suffer the same fate. You will suffer the same fate as the blonde one. Luke, I can never catch a break. Leia, slightly nervous laugh. What my husband means to say is, what exactly kind of Ewok planet is this? When we fought for your people before, I don't remember seeing anything like this. Anyway, I thought I heard something. The Ewoks sigh. They see that they'll be here for a while, so they pull up chairs. Ewok number 2 lights a cigarette. Ewok number 1. Oh, here we go. Here comes a long story. There's a lot of stories within the story. Ewok number 1. Our planet has a long history of distrust with the humans. Decades ago, Starfleet Command landed a colony of humans here on Ewokia District 6. The flashback begins. The human colony began small, and in any case, we wouldn't refuse anyway. To argue with Starfleet Command meant certain death to us all. The colony was docile at first, but then they began to expand. They began refusing to live in harmony with the land. Everywhere they went, they scorched the ground and built their human cities on top. We were terrified. We feared that eventually all of our magnificent jungles would be destroyed. Then the plague came. All of the foreign animals, which the humans had imported, perished. They came hunting for us and enslaved us. They made us into pets and beasts of burden. I can't imagine Ewoks, like, pulling a cart or something. Stop that! Quinn, cut that out. You're making so much noise. Where was I? They made us into pets and beasts of burden. All of our freedoms were taken. It was a dark time indeed. Leia, God damn. Ewok, but we rose up out of that darkness. A secret order of resistance fighters broke into the humans' labs and stole the remnants of the terrible plague. Underground, we fed it and strengthened it. Finally, we released it back into the colony. We targeted all medics and their assistants first. Then, with no one left to try and cure the rest of the population, the humans quickly fell to ruin. It was a terrible disease, one which eats away at the brain and reduced them to what they are now. Dawson, what are they now? Ewok, they are simple creatures now. They survive out in the wild, and in the rubble of their former cities. Earth humans, such as yourselves, would probably call them something like Neanderthals. They no longer have the desire to own, rule, or dominate. At last, they are in harmony with the planet. Dawson, ... it's like 20, actually it's more like 30 dots. Deep. Han, muttering, yeah, we're in deep shit, you mean. Ewok, now we use the humans at our leisure to further ourselves, as they once used us. I don't expect simple troops such as yourselves to be familiar with our story, but now you are. You see now why we cannot trust or free you. The two Ewoks stand up and put their chairs away. The one who is smoking puts out his cigarette on an ashtray that just happens to be there 1960s style. Ewok number 2. Get some rest, simple creatures. We shall inspect your belongings and return later tonight to begin our experiments. Dawson, can I go in the cage with them? I hate this table. The Ewoks just leave the room and turn the light off. Luke and Dawson grumble complainingly. Meanwhile, the Ewoks go over into the other room. They have all the humans' clothes in a big pile on a metal table. Ewok number 1. Now let's see what those little troopers are hiding. He picks up Leia's dress, and immediately a little Ziploc baggie of Coke falls out on the tabletop. Ewoks quirk their eyebrows curiously. Later on in the night, the lab room is totally pitch dark, but some scuffling and movement can be heard from within the darkness. The humans slowly wake up and peek around. Joshie, who's there? The sounds of movement all abruptly stop. But then a hand flicks on the light switch and the room illuminates in harsh fluorescent flickering. Our heroes see a bunch of feral-ass looking cave people crawling around the room. They're clothed, but only in the traditional animal fur underwear, smocks, and bikinis. Our heroes just stare at them like, what the fuck? Then from within the herd, one of the cave people comes forwards. She has on a leather collar with a speaker attached to it, like the dog from Up. She stares at them all. Cave woman, talking through the speaker like Dr. Phibes. Don't fear, alien humans. My legion and I have come to rescue you. Dawson, who are you? Cave woman, I was a great chairwoman once. Now I'm merely a product of hideous experimentation. She lowers her head for a moment in shame and then looks back up. Cave woman, I'll set you all free before your fate becomes the same as mine. She starts working on the combination lock on the door of the cage. Just then, they hear a door slam open down the hall, and a bunch of drunk-sounding voices echo down the hallway, with music and party sounds in the background. All the cave people start getting nervous and jumpy, looking all around rapidly and whimpering. The lead cave woman quickly hurries to the wall to shut the light off. Leia, what's going on out there? Cave woman, the Ewoks are all intoxicated. I don't know how or why, but this may be literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I managed to persuade them to free me and my people from ourselves. We have to hurry before they realize what they've done. She hurriedly undoes the combination lock and swings the cage door open. The three captives hurry out of there as quick as fucking possible. Then she goes over to free Luke and Dawson from their bindings, as the herd of cave people are all whining and milling around restlessly like scared sheep in the dark. Down the hall, they hear she should have just let everybody else out first and then come to rescue these people, but whatever. Down the hall, they hear the door open again and the music and voices come out again. Everyone freezes and looks up in fear. They hear footsteps coming down the hall. The cave people are panicking, and Joshie, Han, and Leia all try to shush them, but to no success. Leia, whispering urgently, Luke, help us! Use your psychic powers or something. Luke, frantically tries to think of some way to quiet them all down. Hey guys, look at this! He pulls his sleeve down over his hand so it's like a sock puppet and does a pseudo-ventriloquist type of thing with it. Luke, oh, I can do this. Luke, in a cartoony voice. Hey kids, you want to sing a song with me? Birdie, 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 don't make you fly away. Birdie, 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 don't you want to stay? Hey, what the fuck kind of song is that? All the cave people go quiet for a moment and all stare at him, perplexed and captivated. Joshie, a relieved sigh. I think it worked. Everything is quiet for a moment. Then the door bursts open and the Ewoks are there. Ah! Psycho music. Ewok, what the hell is going on in here? Cave woman, run for everything you've got. All the cave people stampede out of the lab in chaos, plowing down the Ewoks standing in the doorway. They and all our heroes race down the hallway of flickering fluorescent lights. Behind them they can hear angry mob-like shouts from all the other Ewoks chasing them. Cave woman, this way. They follow her through the twisty labyrinth of hallways, with a pack of cave people running alongside them. At last they come to the front door. Dawson kicks open the door for a dramatic effect, only to be confronted with the blinding light of a dozen flashlights. They all freeze, shocked and stunned. Voice on bullhorn. Don't move. This is Starfleet Command. We have you surrounded. Han. Christ, it's just one thing after another. The flashlights dim down a little bit and they can see better. Spock, Kirk, and Bones materialize from the transporter in the middle of the group of red and blue shirt ensigns. Kirk, looking around. My God, look at this place. The peaceful colony we visited last time seems to be in some sort of state of rebellion. But why? He shines his light on our heroes, standing in the doorway, surrounded by the cave people. Kirk, you there. Tell us what's going on. Bones, as he eyes the cave people. Jim, look at what's happened to them. Those are our people. Kirk and Bones. Spock. They appear to be suffering from some sort of devolution. Just then, the cave people finally overcome their frozen in fearness and bolt out of the doorway. They run scattering in every direction, racing for the jungle. Bones. Don't let them get away. They don't know what they're doing. They can still be reprogrammed back. A bunch of the ensigns go running after the cave people like hound dogs after rabbits, grabbing the ones they can and tackling them to the ground. Only a few of them escape into the dark. Bones. Keep hold of them. They're still our people. He goes and gives chase too, as his ensigns wrestle the cave people ugly style on the ground. Kirk, to our heroes. As for you, you are all under arrest. I'll see every one of you tried in Starfleet military court. Han, over my dead body. He grabs the nearest ensign and snatches a phaser out of the holster. He holds the poor, unsuspecting red shirt and puts the phaser to his head as if he's going to take him hostage. Han, yeah, that's right. You didn't see that twist coming, huh? So why don't you all just... Suddenly one of the blue shirts shoots the hostage in the head and he flops down dead. Damn. Han. Everybody run! They all run for the jungle, with Han shooting back over his shoulder and taking out a couple more red shirts along the way. A big-ass laser shooting battle erupts, with everyone just shooting in every direction. Some more of the cave people escape as the ensigns pinning them to the ground get shot at. Joshie finds the cave woman with the speaker collar hiding behind a tree and watching. Joshie, quick, run away. Cave woman looks at Joshie. I cannot. My people. I'm nothing without them. If they are to be taken to the cell Electra, then I will go with them. Joshie, the cell Electra? Han, that's the reprogramming center. You don't want to go there. It's bad. Suddenly, a straight laser blast hits the cave woman's speaker and she jumps back, startled. But the speaker is shattered to charred remains. She looks down, then back up in shock, no longer able to communicate. Flashlights shine in a circle all around them. Kirk, stop resisting. We have you surrounded. All our heroes just look down at the grass, dejected and defeated. Cut to the inside of the Enterprise. Everyone is beamed back through the transporter. All the cave people are subdued and taken prisoner. They just cower and let themselves be led away like scared animals. All our heroes shake themselves off with a feeling of disgust. Kirk, to some lower-level personnel. Get all these sick people to sick bay, and make sure you don't let any of them escape. Take all precautions. Lower-level personnel nods. Aye, aye, Captain. Kirk, and escort these criminals to the brig. We make for, overpronouncing, the cell Electra, our next stop. Cut to all our heroes being thrown forcefully into the brig like stuffed animals being thrown in a toy box. Oh shit, it's over 20 minutes. Okay.